Hi Leo, and welcome to your reading. Okay, so what does Leo need to know? What does Leo need to know? Okay, yeah, Leo, you already know I do not like to see the cards before they are placed. Wait, don't need that. Wait. Okay, fine. My bad. Side message. I need it. Next. This card is where? This one of strengths and weaknesses. Wait, it's what? Got it. Not it. Mean or side? Side. Not it. Alright. Wait. And this one? Not relevant. Okay, and as I've been saying, Leo, I'm not doing side messages until the beginning of August. And guess what? It's August. These down here are for your side message, but we're going to get into those more towards the end of the reading. See what you have. Perception, 5 of fire, self, 7 of earth, knowledge, mind, body, 4 of air, and the 2 of fire. The current energy you find yourself in, like the energy you're moving in, you have a keen perception about something. You have an outlook on life that not many people take to. You know, the person that sees things differently from everybody else and kind of sets you apart, creates this gap between you and everybody else. And although you can understand their take on things, it seems like no one can ever fully comprehend your level of thinking on certain matters. And it's all due to the perception that you have. Is the energy you currently find yourself in is that you see things more clearly than other people do. It's not so much as seeing things objectively or subjectively. You just see things. The best way I can say, you can see the whole picture entirety, how all the pieces of the situation connect to each other, the influences at play, and how it led to the potential, and how it's either leading to a potential outcome or how it led to a certain outcome. The same way how someone would get mad over a situation, the same way a person would get mad at a situation that didn't have a favorable result, you wouldn't feel one way or another about it. It's like your level of comprehension, take on how things played out would not allow you to be mad, upset, distraught, because like I said, you see the whole thing in its entirety. You understand all the obstacles that play, all the influences, how everybody's interactions with throughout the situation led to the final result. And because you understand it fully and entirely, it leaves no space for having an emotional. It leaves little to no space for having an emotional response to it. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just that you don't feel any weight towards it because of your ability to understand why and how it happened. I don't know. Even just saying it kind of feels a little bit lonely, because your level of thinking, your level of understanding is far advanced to the point where it does create a gap between you and people you find yourself against. And being that you have the 5 of fire in your for the energy in your environment, it also speaks to that as well. You may be constantly at odds with each other, whether it be a particular person, your social group, family members. For some of you, this may even be with at work. Because your level of understanding and your perception is unlike any others in your social circle, family, or even at work, it's like you're constantly at odds with one another. How can you say that? How can you believe that? How can you do that? No, but you're just saying that because you don't fully understand. You do understand. But these may be the reactions that you're getting. It's like the people around you see things from an emotional standpoint, and you don't see it from an emotional or logical standpoint. You just see a situation as it played out. Some of you may try to reconcile the differences between you and the other, but for the vast majority of you, I don't see you doing that. Or if you did, you don't do it anymore, because you see a little merit in it. Like, what's the point? There's nothing to gain. Dang, their way of thinking and level of understanding is nothing compared to yours. But you don't let it influence you, because what you have for strength is you have self. You sit strongly and securely. You sit strongly and securely in your element. Like, you know who you are, you know what you stand for, you move in your own energy. You don't change or adapt to fit into your environment. You don't pipe down or shut up because what you have to say is not what other people want to hear. You acknowledge and embrace your truth and your way of being. Although you may be a little bit different, let's face it, Leo, you're for some of y'all are a lot different. But you don't take it as a hindrance or a setback. You find it a strength to be able to view things as no one else does. It's a skill set that very few people in this world have, which is true. And for the fact that you see it like that, serves only to help you instead of hinder you. And I say that because there are a lot of people that do see things differently from everybody else, have a higher level of perception and discernment, but because it's different from what everybody else, usually the majority wins out in the end. But you understand that just because the majority sees it one way doesn't mean that you're not right or that your way is wrong. Now, for what you have for your present moment, you have the Seven of Earth. I'm hearing remembering oneself. Steady, stable, rooted, confined to one's own spaces. Alright, so basically the energy that I'm getting from this and what Spirit is trying to say is that you feel safe and secure within yourself. You have no problem disconnecting from... You have no problem disconnecting from spaces that do not serve you. Like, you know how people say if you're the smartest person in the room, it's time to find another room. You have that kind of energy where if you're the smartest person, or you're the only person that thinks like this, if you're the only person that talks a certain way, if you're the only person that believes in meditation, just being grounded or staying in the present moment, you have no problem getting up and walking away and finding a new situation to put yourself in where you're not the only one, where there are things that you can learn and gain by being around other people with similar mindset. Some of you may even find comfort in deep meditation, seeing and hearing your own thoughts. For those of you who are spiritual, you may also be consulting your spirit guides and ancestors on a weekly, if not regular basis, for guidance and wisdom on who you should be around, what you should do next, what's the next step on the path you should be taking. It's like you're constantly looking for ways to evolve. Now, based on the current energy that they came out for you, Leo, there are one of three paths, of course, of action you can take based on the current energy that came out. The first one being knowledge. You seek to gain more and more knowledge. You've mastered wisdom with the current intellect and knowledge that you already have. Seek to learn more, to gain more and do more. Understand the world as you know it. With a deeper level of insight and clear head think. So yeah, you want to gain more knowledge. You want to build on top of what your foundation, what you already know, because you have a clear understanding. There's always something else to learn, always something else to do. You don't believe in staying stagnant, or you don't believe in being stagnant, or that ignorance is bliss. You seek to learn and advance yourself on every level possible, whether it be with work, social situations, a personal skill set. Yeah. Because I'm hearing no matter what, you do not want to remain stuck. You want to gain all the knowledge you possibly can. Yeah, in this lifetime. Okay. Like I said, some of y'all may be even consulting your spirit guides and ancestors to find out what your next step would be. So they could possibly will be directing you on what you should be focusing on, what you should be focusing on what you should return back to because you haven't learned enough. Drawing your attention to certain books and reading materials, even directing you to certain people that are considered experts in their field, depending on what it is you want to learn or what the next step is for you. But anyway, the next step or course of action, you have body and mind. Excuse the meowing in the background. That is my cat. Right now she's in the big cat carrier. She wants to come out. But being that she's been causing a little bit of mischief for today, let's just say that she's on a little bit of a timeout. Has her food, has her water. She has everything she needs. Even having a little walking space. She just doesn't like to be confined to one area. But anyway, sorry, back to you, Leo. Yeah, your mind influences your body influences your thoughts. But it's not so much of influence, it's more of hearing more of self-control and discipline. I'm hearing you're stuck in your ways and set in your habits, but you're breaking the cycle. As you advance in knowledge and understanding, you recognize a need for a greater level of discipline to control one's actions, to reflect the thoughts you have. Alright, so being that you're growing, you're advancing, your level of thinking could quite very well be changing. So say for example, if you know of certain fruits that help you with certain ailments, but you're drawn to unhealthy food, you understand the need for a higher level of discipline. Okay, enough with the junk food, or set limits and restrictions on how often you can have that, and go towards what you know is healthier, what will benefit you more on a physical and mental level. You're enacting self-control to control your behavior. Control your behavior and your desires. But with that, it's not to say that you're restricting or limiting yourself, more of redirecting your energy. Say, for example, if you have the desire to do something you know you're not physically capable of doing yet, or it's not an appropriate time for you yet, all that energy you have to put into that, to what it is you want, you're redirecting it to something else that can help gain the skill level or gain the physique of what it is you want to do. I don't know why I said physique, but some of y'all may okay just want to jump straight to something knowing fully well you can't physically handle it. So yeah, you need that certain level of self-control and discipline to build you up mentally and physically before you can engage in whatever the heck you want to do. For some of y'all, it could very well be some physical. I keep on saying physique and thinking it. But anyway. The last plan or course of action, you have the Four of Air, which speaks to Leo, there could be a lot on your mind or a lot on your plate right now, because this card is coming across where you need more time management, organization, more structure to your life. So like I said, you could be sitting down in deep meditation on consulting with spirit guides and ancestors on what to do next, what path to take. And even if you don't identify as spiritual and there's no one you're consulting, you may have a long listing of what it is you want to do, where you want to go, places you want to see, and how you can work and improve yourself, what areas you want to visit, just to gain more cultural knowledge from hearing. But again, you have that listing, but how organized is it about regarding where you want to go, what you want to see, what you want to do, places you want to hang around? What exactly are you going to tackle first, and what can wait until a later time? I'm hearing there's no method to your madness. The Four of Airs with this path is you're straightening all that out. You're sitting down with yourself and all that you desire and planning it out accordingly. Some of them can wait, some of them can wait, some of them have a time constraint, so that means so some of them will be time sensitive. Just to sit down with yourself, your schedule, and to plan it out accordingly. What you're going to do for this month, what you're going to do this week or visit this week, how often, why is this coming before the next thing, and so on. You have your listing, you know what you want to do, you know where you want to be. Just takes time to plan it out. Now, no matter what course of action or path you may take, what you have for the upcoming weeks is the Two of Fire, which speaks of bringing something into balance. You have your passion and desire. I'm mostly hearing self-respect. You're taking all that, you're not bringing it into union with other people. Not as you know it. This card is coming across as where you're blending the minds of yourself and other people that are like-minded or in a similar situation. So you may very well be finding that new room with people with similar mindset, people with similar interests, people with similar goals and desires, people that are into physical fitness and exercise. Whatever situation or area you're trying to put yourself in, apparently you may find it over the next couple of weeks, because you're merging your way of thinking with theirs, and it's like you're gaining a new perspective, but at the same time it's like building off the passion you have to know more and do more. The more you mind meld, it deepens your desire to push yourself further and come into balance. Not come into balance, but balance it out between what you know and what you want to do and learn. Like I said, there's always something new to learn. There's always something new to be re-examined. And you're finding the time to make it work. Nice. Okay, let's see what we have for you, Leo. Let's clarify the spread, please. Let's clarify this. Let's clarify this. Let it fall or put it back in the deck? Wait, fall or back in the deck? Back in the deck. Okay, and like I said, Leo, I do not like seeing the cards before they are placed, so this one. Wait. We have air, earth, fire. Oh wait, the only one you don't have is water. This goes where? To the fire. Not it. This one goes... Wait. Yeah, self. This? Wait, what? This is a main or a side message? Okay, that's why I couldn't hear a side message. Okay, so let's see what we have for you, Leo. Self, you have... Oh, light. It is rare when I get this card. But I'm getting 2 messages for this. For those of you... Because with self, I did hear that, Alright, I'm just going to say how Spirit is saying it. Because some of y'all may actually need to hear this. It's just reinforcing and encouraging you, Leo, that do not dim your light for anybody. Your light shines brighter than most. And that's okay. Don't let somebody in your vicinity dim your light or steal your joy because they're not on the same level as you. Hearing you are more divinely guided. You are more divinely guided and hear the whispers of the universe, whether you're aware of it or not. So weird. The way they're phrasing it, it's like you have the foresight to understand that not all gifts are a blessing, but sometimes a curse. What sets you apart and gains you a deeper level of knowing can sometimes alienate you from the ones you love. But still, let your light shine. Your spirit team is trying to speak to you and through you. Your spirit team in the universe, is trying to speak to you and through you. So certain things Leo, some of y'all may say certain things in the present moment. It doesn't make any sense. A lot of people may even hate you for it, disagree with you, be downright nasty and disgusting, and have an issue with the way you are because they think you're full of it. But at the end of the day, whether it's days later, weeks later, months later, turns out you are right. And they have no choice but to eat their words because, again, you see the situation for what it is. You know what's going on behind the scenes. Even if it doesn't fully make sense to you. And you are aware of the gifts that you carry. Some of you may feel like it is a curse to know what you know and understand things the way that you do, but at the same time, Spirit's saying, don't dim your light, don't quiet it for no one. And damn well do not quiet it. Well, hopefully try to make yourself fit in more because But anyway, for those of you who resonated with the knowledge path or course of action, is clarified by recognition and reward. Now, this is the card of action. Because again, you are doing whatever you can to obtain the knowledge you seek. For you, ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is stagnation. But you are getting recognition and praise for the insight you do carry. The way it's coming across, the knowledge that you gain, it just builds to your level of perception. But in a sense, it helps back up the things that you're saying. Because if you see a situation for what it is, but now you have the knowledge to back up your explanation for things you know or things you see or things you do, and when you use the knowledge you gain to back up your viewpoint on how a situation played out, instead of being judged and criticized, like, people can't help but see that you're right, because you actually know what you're talking about. In itself is frustrating because you already know what the fuck you're talking about, because you have a certain level of perception and discernment to know what's going on. But it's like, not many people are going to recognize it until you have the educational level to back up the things that you say. With body and mind clarified by harmony. Again, for any of you who resonate with this path, hearing strong mind, strong body, harmony is just reinforcing and slight encouragement to get the mind and body in sync. You want to be more disciplined, more structured. You have a new, more stable way of thinking. And now your body has to reflect that with the new habits you take on to match your current level. I'm hearing to work in harmony of the natural flow of energy. And the best way I can say it, because Spirit is showing it to me, not so much as telling me. When you have a certain mindset, when you have a certain level of intelligence or understanding, and you want to change your behavior to match, start with the mental and spiritual, not so much with the physical. Even though it's your behavior you're trying to change, as long as you're moving in that mental and spiritual energy, the habits you're trying to get rid of, they'll naturally lessen and fall away on their own without you having to. Because the level of focus and attention you're probably putting into it now, the moment you shift that into making the change mentally and spiritually, it'll automatically have an effect on your physical. You're not going to want to eat certain things anymore. You're not going to want to do certain activities anymore. They're no longer going to be fulfilling. They're no longer going to be fulfilling to you. You're not going to want to go to certain places anymore because it doesn't provide the same level of stimulation anymore. Or you're now at the point where even physically it's like, this is not where I want to be at. Even though mentally and spiritually you already had that kind of mindset, the more you focus on the mental and spiritual part of the change you want to make on a physical level, it's going to affect your physical. So when next time you go around that specific area, physically, yeah, I don't even want to be here. And you're gonna start getting that. Feeling. That's the best way I can phrase it, if that makes sense to you, Leo. Not to focus so much on the physical and more on the mental and spiritual, because that will have a greater influence on your physical and your behaviors. And lastly, with the card you had clarifying to a fire, you have material and spiritual prosperity. But for you, Leo, feels more of spirit. It comes across more of spiritual prosperity than the material. On the material aspect, it speaks. It could be the new connections that you form, places and events you attend. For some of you, even a new living environment. If you want to get up and move or get up and change because the place you're currently residing in doesn't carry the energy that aligns with you anymore. And yeah, some people do move just based off of that. They're no longer in alignment with where they're currently living at, whether it be the city or state, even the country. They get up and move to where it is they feel drawn to, and have no reason to look back, because where they move to is something more comfortable for them, something more. See, I can't even put it into words. But anyway, on the spiritual prosperity level, there are going to be some changes. Not just with your knowledge and intellect, but more of spiritual advancement. The way you understand with yourself, the way you connect with people around you, your spirit team, it's like you're moving with the natural rhythm of the universe without even trying. The moment you made the change to be somewhere, to find a different place to situate yourself. Again, if you're the smartest in the room, if you're the most spiritual in the room, if you're the most self-conscious and self-aware in the room, find a new room to be in. You've found that new room, and it's like, you're building a spiritual growth and development, have a new level of understanding, moving more in alignment with the universe, surrounded by people that are going to build you up instead of tear or weigh you down. But anyway, that is what I have for your main message. And as far as your side message, just one moment. Oh, there goes the water. You have the 10 of water, ace of water, and the scribe. You also have accelerated motion and stand your ground. Both of these with the purple border, they're spiritual cards, and I cannot make this shit up. With the 10 of water, ace of water, and the scribe, you are moving in your own energy and you are comfortable with it. You have no problem starting over. New interest in love and connections. But at the same time, you're emotionally withdrawn. It's not to say you're currently emotionally withdrawn. It's just the way it's presenting. You are reserving the deeper part of yourselves for those that are more deserving, that are on your level. Like, you're not going to give your love, attention, and focus away to someone who doesn't understand you, who doesn't know how to treat you, who doesn't know how to care for you, who doesn't know that doesn't work to meet you where you're at. Anyone that's not able to do that, your heart is restricted and closed off, and you limit their access to your emotional concern. But you are open to emotional connection, to where you can be loving, you can be caring, you can be generous, you can share all that it is you have to offer with the right with the right people while learning and gaining new information, because the scribe is someone who dictates and notes down things that are said. Someone who is a researcher obtains information from unbiased sources, and you're not looking to, with the energy that came out so far plus this, you're not looking to obtain information on things you already know or support your way of thinking. You want to know all sides. The best way I can say it, the best thing I can use for an example is a controversial topic where people have strong opinions on both sides. You're not swayed one way or the other. You're getting information on both sides. You're listening to both sides. You're learning about both sides. You're understanding the points of view for both sides. Not to make a judgment or decision of your own, but just to have it's like you have to have a full understanding of the situation and to see things from an objective point of view. And apparently so far it seems like you will be able to do that. And lastly, with accelerated motion and stand your ground. Yeah, you're not standing for this shit no more. So yeah, Leo, you could have had someone or more than one person in your life that challenged you on your beliefs and your way of thinking. And the way this is presenting, it's like it just pushed you on further to strive to find someplace better, someplace more suited to you that will work to understand you and not judge you. Yeah, you're not here for the judgment and criticism, especially when it comes from people that doesn't even try to understand where you're coming from. That's what you have in your current environment. But you don't hate them, you don't resent them. It's just you're using it as motivation to find someone that does understand you, that does work to obtain more wisdom and advance their way of thinking similar to you. Yeah, you're standing firm in that decision. Some of you may even be tired of defending yourself with the current people you have in your environment that don't understand the things you have to say. And that too could be if you're inspiring you to seek someone out or new places out where you can find more like-minded people. But anyway, Leo, this is what I have for you. I do hope you did enjoy the reading, gain some insight from it. If you did, please do like and subscribe, as there will be more videos to come. That being said, I shall catch you in the next one. Bye, Leo.